Welcome, everyone. So we are going to start this particular introduction to specialized courses. This is a very specialized one that we are starting. So I'm going to talk about the content of this particular program. Okay, the specialized program, you have four arms actually. So you're going to be exposed to Microsoft Dynamics 365, and you also have PowerApps, and as well as automating Microsoft, that's a type of 365. And of course, once you know how to automate Dynamics, you also will know how to automate PowerApps as well. So, and there is also API as well. So you're going to know how to test API or how to use APIs in recent anyway. So. Okay, so I'm going to talk about why this particular course. So if you finish this course, this program, what are you going to do? What are the roles and the tools and the project that you can be involved in? Then also I'll talk about the salary scale that you can be on after you finish this particular program. And of course, any of the expectations that you may have or we desire you to have. Then after that, I would open the floor for any questions. If you have any question before the end, please do type it. I would look into the chat and I will respond as I'm going along. So, but if you want to wait to the end, that also is fine, but you can type your questions. I'll be looking at the chat as we go along. Then, okay, the question is why? What is Dynamics? What do you need it for? Most of us already know this particular word, ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So Microsoft Dynamics is one of those. In fact, I would say is one of the leading ERP platforms that you have. And also it's not only ERP as well, it's got CRM with it as well. So you can actually do customer relationship management with it actually. So it was actually announced by Microsoft in 2016, and it's been there for many years now. So, and if you talk about different companies, this is a sample of the companies that are using Dynamics 365. So you can actually see them, and if you want to actually know. Okay, there's a question here. I'm going to come back to that question. So yeah. So in terms of the applications that you can have, there are different modules to Microsoft Dynamics. So you have the sales. I think the customer engagement is the most popular one anyway. So yeah, I've worked with that, and also finance and operations. So in this one, you can associate yourself with your roles, whether you are an HR person, there's Microsoft Dynamics for you. Whether you're an accountant or in a finance field, there's a Microsoft Dynamics for you. It's kind of very big. Even if you're in operation, they've got something for you as well. So, and that is why it's so popular. To be honest, and we are trying to bring it onto this platform as well, so that everyone can have exposure to it. So now the next question is like, if I do this particular Dynamics, what am I going to be exposed to? What am I going to do? What role? So you can either go as a functional consultant, or you can decide to specialize as a BA and say, okay, I'm looking for D365 business analyst, or I'm looking for D365 software tester. Yeah, as you know, I mentioned API tester as well before now. So because we are going to do that. And this is not exclusive, because even you can as well be a DA in Dynamics World. You can also be a Scrum Master in Dynamics World as well. So it can be any consultant you want to be in, because it's an ERP. Most companies are using it. They need different people for different roles as well. So I just put this particular role as kind of a sample. We're going to see some other people coming in to talk about other roles as well. So this is what I want to focus today. So as some of us will be familiar with all these particular platforms from Microsoft, as you can see. So we can see Power Platform here. So one of the applications that you're going to be exposed to even is there as well. So which is a PowerApps. And also, if you look at this side, you also have the Dynamic 365. So this is kind of all the suite that Microsoft provides anyway. So yeah, so okay. And this is an example of how Microsoft Dynamics will look like, actually. So when you're going to start working on this particular application, you're going to see something like this, right? So I'm going to talk about quickly what's in terms of how this particular program is going to be structured, right? So if you're a BA in this particular program, you're going to be writing your requirements for these applications. So basically, let's say you are using customer engagement or sales, or depending on the one we choose to go for, and you're going to be writing requirement. You can say, okay, write a requirement for account, what is the feed for the account, what's the feed for the contact. If you have a request coming in from your product owner, what do you need to put in there? You might also do a wireframes as well, how it's going to look like. So, and you have exposure to one thing that's more important, you have exposure to use dynamics actually, because you may have a role outside there that you have to write requirements for in dynamics. This particular role exposes to that one. And the same thing as a tester as well. If you are going to be a tester, you're going to be testing this application. Trust me, it's not an easy application to test, actually. So you also would have exposure to automate it as well. And I can tell you, it's also not easy to automate as well. So you're going to be exposed to that, or different modules of this particular application, starting from the settings, the dashboard, the activities, the account, the contact, and everything, and how you can create new entity, how you can save them as well. So as simple as, it's quite easy if you know your way around it, and it's so easy to lose your way because it's so big actually. And that is what we're going to expose you to. Microsoft Dynamics is a very powerful tool that most companies are using right now. This is a good example. Then you also have the PowerApps. To be honest, PowerApp is like a no-code, low-code flavor of Microsoft, because most companies are moving to no-code, low-code right now. So this is another application that's very powerful, that you can design your application on the fly, and you don't need to waste a lot of time. And then even you don't need the experience of being a developer or code experience. Everything is basically drag and drop and everything, and you can actually develop an app as well, a mobile app using PowerApps actually. So this is one thing, yeah, that I can advise you, even if you're a BA. This is as you can see, what you're seeing in front of me is like what you see, like a wire mark actually. So it exposes you to that one as well. You can actually design your stuff, and you can do that as a keyway. Also, it also exposes to how developer will have designed an application with a low code and no code. And I'm still thinking that we would bring Scrum Master into Discord. That's still in discussion with the team anyway. But that's why we call it specialized, because it's it's a bit advanced actually, because it's not something that I would kind of encourage you if you are new to IT field completely. It will take a while for you to grasp this particular course, but this is course that eventually, even if you want to move on, you want to get this particular skill. So to be honest, yeah. And also, yeah, like I said, API is there. You also will be exposed to Postman, which is used for automating, manual testing of APIs, actually. So that's one thing that you also will see. Yeah, putting them together, actually, so you'll be a leader in this field as you go along in this particular field. So Power Apps, Microsoft Dynamics, and as well as Postman. Yeah. So, okay, so now let's talk about the industries and the projects, right? So in terms of industry that you are going to be working on. I think you have, of course, this is not, they're more than this. I would say if you want to work in IT, healthcare, banking, government, insurance, oil and gas, construction, machinery, yeah, food and beverages, there are a lot of companies that are using Microsoft Dynamics. So as you can see from this particular bar charts, you can see, this is kind of distributions of different companies using Dynamics 365 by industry, actually. So as you can see that there are a lot of companies that you can actually apply to, and you can also work with them as well. So yeah. So now most of us have, we've heard about ERP. So quickly, I just want to expose you some of the ERP applications that you might have seen. The most popular one, as you can see, is Dynamics, actually. So it's got 32% market share of ERP applications. And some of you must also have heard about Sage as well. That's got 20%, and maybe SAP, another one that you might have heard about as well. I'm not sure whether NetSuite is that popular. So, but of course, maybe some of you might have heard about Oracle. So now bringing them together, then you can see that Microsoft Dynamics is a powerful tool, even though you've heard about SAP or Sage, it's actually a market leader in ERP application. So of course, you want to lay your hands upon this application, you want to work with it, you want to put on your CV that you know about it, then this is what this particular course is going to give to you, actually, so that at the end, when you go for an interview, you never know. When they ask you, do you know Dynamics, you don't say no. Actually, you say, yeah, I've worked with it, and you can be able to say one or two things from there. Okay, so yeah, expectation, there'll be training. Of course, I'm also looking into bringing it as internship as well. So yeah, so I know Alex and Dan will be talking about the certification. There might be free certification for this particular course. So they are going to talk about that anyway. So of course, like in other internships as well, you have support on the job applications. And this course actually is for your personal development anyway. So this is what the course is about. And I'm really, really excited that we're bringing this anyway. So some people could be motivated by money. So what exactly would this particular course give to you? One, I can tell you, as a functional consultant, you earn average of 54,000, and that's why I just put some screenshot there actually to actually see what is the low salary and the highest salary that you can get. To be honest, there's no highest to this thing. To be honest, you can get as many up what you want anyway. So, and yeah, for functional consultant salary, you can get from, let's say, 54 to whatever you want anyway. So, and there's also other roles as well. So you can decide to be Dynamics 365 BA, actually. So this is job serve that I just kind of did a screenshot of that, and you can see for Dynamics 365 roles, or you have almost over 5,000 roles in there actually that you can apply for. This is an example of a BA role in Dynamic World, and you can see how much that is. So, and as well, you have Dynamic 365 consultant or functional consultant or whatever that is called as well. So this is an example of the roles so that you can actually apply for as a Dynamic 365 consultant. And also, you can also have Dynamic 365 tester as well. So this is an example of a Dynamic 365 tester. And I think you can also be a Dynamic 365 Scrum Master, because if your company is using Dynamic 365 and you happen to be a Scrum Master in that field, yeah, you can as well be the Scrum Master for that particular project as well. Yeah. So, and yeah, I think that's all anyway. So yeah, I know I've kind of quickly sweep past that. So if there's any questions, so you can please ask now. Yeah, I know there's some question that's coming on 1 minute. Yeah. Okay, so and you can as well raise your hand if you got any question. I know there's some question that's been sent to me. I would just give me 1 minute, then I will start attending to those questions.